like a boss on my feet up. Got a bag for him with a visa. Pulling up the leader. Getting that while I'm on the. She's a keeper. No play burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I cannot with no zeros. Don't you run out? No, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I am a boss in the cut, mayday.
And, Coach, we are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. First down, Mayfield. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. The first carry now, this is Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. Mayfield now. Being chased out left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck roll that they can fall back on anymore.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10. Breeze now on 1st down. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
Easy. Ready. Yellow lady. 21. Monday.
Throwing on 1st down is Breeze. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
5-8, 5-8. No. Reset.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he's going to be out of bounds down to the 25. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches. It looked good when it left his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage.
And Johnson lost the football as Lewis poked out. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Back 99 Philly, here we go. Leopard.
Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. Eluding the pressure right. And this is caught by Fowles, right side. And he goes out right around the 39. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Leopard. Detroit.
3rd and short yardage. Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Demario Davis. Able to drop him for a loss of 2. And that'll bring up 4th down. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. And he'll let it fly in the direction. And that's caught inside the 35. A big-time play there for New Orleans. And even 50 yards.
Not the tallest receiver on the field, but he just shouted to admit that the little guy can't go downfield and make a big-time catch on a deep pass because sometimes they'll just out-scrap you for the football.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now as they've got it to the 28-yard line.
On 4. Ready. 90.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. 25 yards to pick up there and also a 1st down. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Got it.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Saints have taken the early lead. And he's able to put it through. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And the Browns getting set to go. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Second down, Mayfield. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Flushed out right. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Cameron Jordan in there for the sack on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Here's Britton Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now it's Ginn. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
5-4. Hey, kill. Mike, 53, Mike. Got it. You can't block me.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to stay up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there. First down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
Action now, Barney.
Mayfield on first down. Flush to his right. And he coughed it up.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Well, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Good set.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Breeze. And Watson has it right side. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on second down. On second down, here's Breeze. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Larry Ogunjobi able to swamp him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. Third and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. That's complete to Meredith. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Ready. Yellow lady. Good set.
Breeze now on first down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And now it's second down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Ready? You waiting? 21. 12. 11. Left. Good. 5-4. Ready.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. It's brought in right side by Ginn. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. They give him a gain of 38. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this.
Ready. 12.
Now a pitch out to Kamara. Oh, nice move. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Saints add on to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, Mayfield again. Gets it to Gordon. And down he'll go at the 25. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a fair catch is called for. He will take it in to give his guys some excellent field position here. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Good, good, good. 5-4, ready.
Bree's going to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
A 1st down throw for Mayfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Finds a seam inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now before the 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Third and long for Mayfield. And he's got his tight end, Njoku. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play.
Leopard! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
First down, Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And, yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. A little juke. And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they're going.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett in there to get him for a loss of 5. The #1 pick a season ago, proving his worth.
7 sacks in 11 games as a rookie. Didn't play the full year due to some injuries, but he's going to be the face of the franchise on the defensive side of the ball.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Mayfield now on second down. Escaping the pressure. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Sheldon Rankins breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Detroit! Detroit!
Mayfield from the gun on third down. That's Njoku over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Demario Davis there on the stop.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
To throw, Mayfield. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down. Baker Mayfield, obviously the #1 pick overall. That was controversial, though. What ultimately made the Browns go in his way?
Well, post-draft, I did hear a Browns executive talk about the efficacy of Baker Mayfield. In other words, how people rally to him, how people respond to him. He talked about seeing him at a workout, how he showed up, yelled out to the other guys. They yelled back with the same response, ran.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Josh Gordon, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And we are tied at 14. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. And Josh Hill has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards through the air and a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
We all know that Myles Garrett was drafted #1 in the NFL for his ability to get to the quarterback. That's his stock in trade. But the underrated part of his game, plays well against the run, knows how to hold the point of attack.
Breeze to throw on second down. And his throw here's incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Third down here.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Breeze. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Breeze now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Breeze. Incomplete. Demarius Randall that time there to knock it free.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Back to the air on second down. It's Breeze. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Breeze. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. The tight end Josh Hill was the target. That'll bring up second down.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. Mark Ingram really coming into form in the NFL. First 5 years in the league, didn't have a 1,000-yard season, but he's done it the past 2 years.
Yeah, and I think a couple of reasons for that. Number one, offensive line has been rebuilt, and they put a lot of resources into that, and they've gotten better. Number two, he's had great running mates back there. Tim Hightower 2 seasons ago. Then last year, of course, the sensational Alvin Kamara. And last but not least, the defense is playing so much better in New Orleans. They don't have to throw the ball as much on offense. He can run the ball even more.
And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2.
That was a statement stop right there. Now it forces the opposing head coach to answer this question. What do you do on 4th down?
And Lutz puts this one through. And they take a 17-14 lead. So after 2 unsuccessful attempts, this time he's able to find the range, and he gets his guys the lead.
And we wondered whether those 2 misses would come back to haunt him. It still might, but at least he's able to get some sort of redemption and get his guys back in front.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
And that one results in 35 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 right at the 40.
No, check. Patriot.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Gordon. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it, because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Throwing, Mayfield. The Browns are in. Touchdown. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead, and I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
And some room to run now. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
On first down, Breeze. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a second down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On second down, here's Breeze. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Here we go.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Thomas, the intended target.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Drops it off for Chubb. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And his throw is incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays. Fire no.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Josh Gordon with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
One day. Ready. 290. 12. 11. Over.
Breeze will try again on 2nd down. He'll let it fly in the direction again. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Brianne Bonnie Calhoun. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. The first NFL touchdown for Georgia's Nick Chubb. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. To throw, it's Breeze. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And incomplete on the deep ball. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. And now here's another interception. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he gets it down to the 32. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They run it again with Chubb. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Cleveland, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head home next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon.